It was pretty quiet. You know, a lot of things happened in that game despite the lack of hits we had early. You know, Kennedy was good. He did a really good job of exploiting us, especially at the top of the zone. He really knows how to elevate to finish. And we just couldn't get much going. You know, Kepler had a walk to get our first base runner, and Miggy had a really nice at-bat and go on the opposite field. But, you know, it wasn't looking particularly good. Gibby hung in there, probably his best outing. Saw some slight improvement in areas that we're trying to get him to move forward on. But the inning that we put it together, you know, Rosie had a good at-bat to get it started, and Buck worked a walk. You know, Kepler hit it sharply, and then we got a misplay and took advantage. Base running wasn't particularly good on Miggy's ball. It was a little confusing there. But Joe kind of made it moot when he doubled. So found a way to hang on, went through a lot of pitchers, mixed and matched the best we could, and we were able to find a way to win a game. So it was nice to come back and get that one.
Could you see how close Sano was?
Well, I knew it was close. You know, they hits the top of the wall, and you know, you can't tell if a fan hits it on the way up or whatever. I knew that my eyes told me that it hit the top of the fence, but, you know, a case like that, you're going to take a second look.
And you saw steps of improvement from Gibson?
Yeah, you know, he came out aggressive in the first inning. You know, I don't know what the final numbers were on first pitch strikes. It seemed like it kind of, some of the innings where he got in trouble, that was part of the issue of falling behind. You know, we had some issues with, you know, he got ahead of, times he did get ahead. They went from 0-2 to 3-2 and still having a little trouble finishing. But he hung in there. I thought that, you know, the fact that he was able to maintain and keep the game under control where he hadn't been able to do that in his first handful of starts. So, you know, I got him through 5 1/3 there, and either way, what Perez do is we thought with the number of arms we had and the freshness, we'd go to the bullpen, and it worked out.
What do you think the impact of the Buckner foul ball and the delay, about 6 minutes, had on the game?
It's hard to say. I know on a cold night for a reliever to have to, you know, buy some time there while they made the transition. You know, they allowed him to throw some pitches, which was correct. And, you know, you don't know. You know, you're facing Miggy with an 0-1 count, and, you know, he just threw that slow curveball he does every once in a while, and Miggy was able to get enough of it to do some damage.
Molly, Miggy get credit there for being ready once play resumes there to hit that breaking ball.
Yeah, you know, he came in the dugout there and went down to the heater for a minute and just told him to stay warm. And, you know, he was pretty locked in throughout the night. You know, he got struck out on a good changeup his first at bat, but you know, throughout the night, it looked like he was, you know, like he has been. He's tracking the ball and he's putting good swings on it. So, huge part of our offense tonight, obviously, with the 2 big swings that he had.
A good sign too, that home run. You know, 3-2 works the count and then goes opposite field as well.
Yeah. You know, he'd fouled off a pitch previous. I wasn't sure. I had a feeling he was going to go back to the changeup, but you know, he went with something hard. And when Miggy's going good, he's going to hit the ball, you know, left, right, center, and that's a good sign for his game when he hits him the opposite field like that.
And Buxton makes it look pretty easy, but that play in the ninth, Moss hit that one pretty hard there on that play.
Yeah, you know, with 2 strikes, we moved over the left side of second base and center field out there, and so we had a little bit longer to go than it would have been earlier in the count. But you know, playing a little bit deep in that situation with Moss's power around the diamond, and he was able to track it down. So it's a big out. There's no question about that. And you know, especially after they got another base runner there. So.
You mentioned having some trouble against Kennedy. At the same time, when he came out of the game, he had thrown 100 pitches. Have you seen enough of this from your team to believe it's going to be a trait?
It's been a good trend that we've exhibited here early. Pitch counts for the opposing starting pitcher have fairly consistently climbed somewhat rapidly in terms of compared to innings pitched. And you know, it's a combination of working walks and guys hanging in there with 2 strikes and having a pretty good plan. So you would like to think that would be a characteristic that we could carry forward. You know, it bodes well in terms of being able to get into bullpens.
Paul Molitor talking after the